Did you know that in the United States, there are towns with names so bizarre, they could come straight from a movie? But don't let their strange names fool you. These cities have fascinating stories behind them. Stick around as we uncover the origins of the top 10 weirdest city names in America. You won't believe the reasons behind some of these names. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Let's kick things off with a town that's as quirky as its name. Welcome to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Sounds like the title of a TV show, right? Well, that's exactly where it comes from. Originally called Hot Springs, the town changed its name in 1950 after the popular radio game show Truth or Consequences. The show's host, Ralph Edwards, promised to broadcast live from the first town that renamed itself, and Hot Springs took the challenge. Now every year the town hosts a celebration of the famous show, and it's even the town's main claim to fame. Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Next up, we're heading to Pennsylvania, to a town with a name that's bound to make you giggle, Intercourse. But before you jump to conclusions, let's clear things up. The name actually dates back to the early 1800s and refers to the idea of social interaction, or community fellowship. While it's certainly a memorable name, it was never meant to mean what you might think. And in this Amish heartland, the name has become a proud part of local culture. Why Arizona? Now, let's travel to Arizona, where we find a town so simple it's called Y. You might think there's a deeper meaning, but it's really just about geography. The town was built at the junction of two highways that form a Y shape, and originally it was going to be called Y. But when town names were being officially registered, they had to be at least 3 letters long. So, in a stroke of pure logic, it became Y. Boring, Oregon. From Arizona, we head to Oregon, and another town with a truly unforgettable name, Boring. This town was named after William H. Boring, a Civil War veteran who helped establish the area. And while some might think that a town called Boring would be, well, boring, the community embraces the humor and has even teamed up with Dull, Scotland and Bland, Australia to celebrate their dull names. Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky. Ever heard of Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky? It sounds like something straight out of a children's book. The name is believed to come from the way the land looked when viewed from above, resembling an eyebrow. The town is small, but its quirky name has made it a beloved part of Kentucky's history. Hell, Michigan. Heading north to Michigan, we find a town with a name that may surprise you. Hell. Hell, Michigan has been a hotspot for curious tourists for years, and the town even embraces its fiery name. According to local legends, the name came about in the 1840s when settlers joked that they'd be damned if they had to live there. Today, Hell is known for its Halloween festivities, and they even offer Hell merchandise. So if you're feeling adventurous, you might want to pay a visit to this infernal little town. Toad Suck, Arkansas. Next we visit Toad Suck, Arkansas, where the name has a funny story. In the early 1800s, riverboatmen would stop at this location to wait for higher water levels. Locals joked that the boatmen sucked on bottles of alcohol so much while they waited that they swelled up like toads. And that's how this peculiar town got its name. Santa Claus, Indiana. Speaking of Christmas, let's head to Santa Claus, Indiana. Originally called Santa Fe, the town changed its name in the 1850s to avoid confusion with another town in the state. But here's where it gets interesting. Town residents chose the name Santa Claus because it was fitting for the Christmas season. The name has brought plenty of holiday cheer, and today you can even visit the Santa Claus Museum. Nothing, Arizona. Moving to Arizona again, we find Nothing, Arizona. Yes, you heard that right, Nothing. This town was founded as a gas station and rest stop, but its name reflects the lack of development and people that followed. Ironically, it became famous for its lack of anything. It's a perfect reminder that sometimes the name says it all. Embarrass, Minnesota. Finally, let's wrap up with Embarrass, Minnesota. The name actually comes from the French word embarrass, meaning to hinder or to obstruct, and was a reference to the difficulties early settlers had navigating the region's rugged terrain. The name might be a little awkward, but it tells the story of the town's challenging beginnings. Who knew that some of the strangest names in the U.S. would have such interesting backstories? If you enjoyed this journey through quirky town names, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which town name you found the strangest. And remember, sometimes the strangest names have the best stories.